Hello, Lower Elementary. It is so good to get to be looking at music things again. So you have your packet, and you may or may not have cut out your work yet, but let's look at these musical terms. We use terms a little bit different because we've been using the Prodigies series, the curriculum for that, but I will read off for you what these are and maybe help explain what they might be in our Prodigies definitions. So we have here, you can get your control sheet, and that will help guide us for what we are looking for. So we have here a quarter note. Now in the Prodigies, quarter note is represented by what? Does anybody remember? It's beet. So it's the vegetable beet. You can say beet, and it's about a quarter note length. And then the second one is the half note. Half note is two of those. So it is melon, or, well, it's not two separate ones. It's two beats, but melon would be probably more accurate. And then the next one it has on here is the whole note. The whole note is what we did watermelon. It's four of them. So they don't have it if it was three. They have 1, 2, and 4. If it had been 3, then we would have had this with a little dot behind it. It's okay though. So for the 8th note, what did we use? Oh, cherry. Okay, so cherry, it was che is one, and then re is another. So cherry is like 2 8th notes. And then for the 16th note, oh my goodness, it's been a while since we've done it. Was it avocado? I think it's avocado. I don't think it was pineapple. Pineapple was the triplet. Yeah. Okay. So avocado. Avocado. So that was like the 16th note. So let's read through these. I should have done that. Okay. So it says here, a quarter note on your vocab terms. Quarter note receives one beat in common, which is 4/4 time, a fourth of a whole note, which is why we call it a quarter of the measure. The next one it shows is half note. A half note has half the value of a whole note. 2 beats in common 4/4 time. For those of you who remember, you remember when we watched those silly videos about those ridiculous videos with the pizza, and how much it was awesome because it was showing how you divide up a whole measure into fourths or half or however, and so I really love the idea of the showing it as a pizza. So a half note is half of that pizza. And then the next one they list is the whole note. It would be like the whole pizza. And so a whole note is a note that receives 4 beats, or the whole thing, in common 4/4 time. And the next one is the 8th note. The 8th note has 1/8 of the time value of a whole note. 8th notes are usually fast. So che, like cherry, cherry, sort of like that, are both so quick. And then a 16th note, avocado. Yeah. What does it say? A 16th note has 1/16 the value of a whole note. 16th notes are short and move very quickly. All right. So for the next one, this is not something we actually have gotten to in our reading. We've been working on still the note values. We've been putting a lot of attention on that, but also we've been putting attention on learning songs otherwise. So, but this is the treble clef. So let's look and see what we say for treble clef. A treble clef is a symbol that indicates the notes on the staff are higher notes. It is also called the G clef. So if you think of like music, all of the like higher music tends to be a treble clef, and all of the lower music tends to be on the bass clef. And here is a bass clef. The bass clef is a symbol that indicates the notes on the staff are lower notes. It's also called the F clef. Okay, what does it say next? Oh, the staff. So we did start to look at the staff and where the notes go, of course, as we were doing our solfege. So for the staff, it says a staff consists of 5 lines and 4 spaces. Each line or space represents a note, A, B, C, D, E, F, or G, and then it starts over again. So there's little acronyms people can learn for that, like every good boy does fine, and all of those. Okay, and then at the end, this is one we have definitely come across with our music we've been reading, a repeat sign. So when you've got that dot right there, you've got to go back to where it's indicating for you to start back at. These are ones that we were going to be getting into soon, sharp and flat. They change the notes just by a little bit. So let's see what it says. A flat symbol makes a note lower by half a step, just a little. A sharp symbol raises a note by half a step, just a little. And then the last one is time signature. I probably should have started with that one because a lot of them talked about it. Let's see what they say for it. A time signature shows how many beats are in a measure and which note gets the beat. 4/4 is the most common one. So that goes back to when we were learning about the pizza and just how much value does this measure have. It has 4 beats typically. A lot of what you're going to find in the music we're working on, it's got 4 beats. And so then the note values show how those beats are divided up. It's really fractions. So those are some of those explanations. Now I'm thinking, let me try and see if I can go back and share, just to refresh our memories, maybe even share some of those videos that we looked at. I did buy the right, I own the rights to be able to distribute it, but I don't know how to distribute it on here yet, but we'll look into it. So we'll jump into our next part.